Hey, Soraya.
Hey Jeff, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. You staying cool?
I'm doing everything in my power to
It's,
stay cool.
is it triple digits there too? And
I haven't looked. Well, no, we're just in the low 90s.
is that all?
It's just a breezy day outside in the San Fernando Valley.
Oh, wow. Well, I failed to mention this last week when we did our episode where we were talking about the Long Riders 10560 EP. But I understand you have all of your students' grades in, and now it's school's out for summer.
Ah! Yeah, I can only say that for a couple of weeks because I got hired to teach a summer school class.
Oh,
But
geez.
it's summer. Right now I'm just enjoying and there's just something to it to know that I don't have papers to grade or things like that. But right now, I'm in summer mode just for a few weeks.
Nice. I always look forward to your post with your permanent green light.
I swear that song is like, uh, when I hear it, it makes me think summer. So it's always my end of semester, end of the academic year, start of something new. And then, I listen to it for weeks on end. And then I'm back in fall semester.
Well,
But
all of us that follow you, we always wait for that post. We know summer's right around the corner when
and
Soraya
my
posts.
10 followers, I thank you. But I do have to say something really cool. And that is my niece is graduating from kindergarten today.
Oh,
She is done with
uh,
kindergarten and
uh,
many more school years
yeah.
ahead.
Well, congratulations. Are you gonna? Is
Yay.
there any kind of celebration, family celebration happening?
I'm sure something will happen and
Yeah.
but she's got a very busy social schedule. She's got parties and gatherings with friends and play dates and things like that.
Excellent,
And
excellent.
what about Leah? Is Leah
So
no, Leah's a little bit behind my
yeah. So my granddaughter's getting ready to go into kindergarten. So
Whee!
she's in preschool right now. So next year she'll be a kindergartner.
Big girl. Big girl.
Yes, big girl.
All right, Jeff. So enough about us.
Enough about
People really don't give a hoot and a holler about you and me.
Yeah,
But
well, what I wanted to do is kind of tease our listeners and not tell them what we're going to do
okay.
for our second EP until after the introduction. But I got a hint
All
to
right, go.
pass. So last week we decided that we were going to do a series about EPs from Paisley adjacent bands, and we covered Long Riders 10560.
Yes,
So we're
sir.
going to do another EP today. And what I decided to do was don two shirts from the 3 o'clock.
Okay.
This outer one and this inner one.
Wow, that's interesting. A green on red ensemble.
Let's get it going.
Let's see what the clue is. All right, let's go. Hi, this is Soraya.
And this is Jeff.
Our podcast is called Paisley Stage Raspberry and Rhyme,
a podcast where the two of us play music that we like and share anecdotes and background about the tunes.
We hope you'll join our conversation. And without further ado, a groovear.
Let's get groovy. All right, so green on red indeed. so, today we're talking about Green on Red's EP. I want to say it's their debut EP, but it's not. They had an EP that came out before this, Two Bibles, but this was the one that really got them going with a little bit better distribution. But so Green on Red, put out by Steve Wynn on his Down There label, which another hint, we hope to be digging into that subject matter a little bit later on another episode. But it's this album, which also was released in the UK by Zippo, which we talked about last week with the Long Riders. In this case, no bonus tracks. So my pressing here is actually the second pressing. The first one came out on Down There exclusively, and then Enigma picked up distribution, and that's my copy here. So I'm gonna get one of those original pressings here shortly to replace the one that I sold in the 80s when I got CDs.
Talk about those things.
And speaking about CDs, if you wanted it on CD, it is included with on this CD that was put out by Restless, and they tagged it onto the end of their gas, food, lodging. So it is available on CD here, and I think this is the only place you can get it on CD, if I'm not mistaken.
As far as I know. Now, Green on Red does have a Bandcamp page.
Now,
so things are appearing there. So, it's good idea to check there and, before moving elsewhere.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up about social media, because they just started their Facebook page this year.
That's right.
Yeah. So and Bandcamp, as you mentioned. So there's lots of Dan Stewart stuff, lots of Green on Red. Yeah, definitely visit. And you can, of course, get this EP via Bandcamp. And
absolutely.
Speaking about Dan Stewart, we've had two of the members from this lineup on our podcast before, with bassist Jack Watterson, and a couple times we've had Chris Kakavez on, keyboardist and vocals. We love that guy, don't we?
Yes.
And we actually, Dan Stewart was one of the very first people that I reached out to when we started the podcast. I want to say it was November of, was it 2019 or 2018? 2018. So he had agreed to come on the show after the tour. He was getting ready to head out on tour. And then when he came back, he was kind of done with music. So he said, Jeff, I'm going to pass on that now, because I want to take a break from talking about music for now. So Dan Stewart is the guitarist and the main songwriter and singer for Green on Red. So if we ever get a chance, we'll have Dan on. The drummer on this is Alice McNichol, who unfortunately passed away in 2013. But that's the lineup for this record, which is the third release on Down There Records, Steve Wynn.
Yeah.
Record. Yeah. No producers credited for this. So
again, something we can add to our list of questions for Dan Stewart, or Chris Kakavez.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or Steve Wynn.
Yeah, he may know. He put the record out, so
there may be a hidden story there.
There may be, indeed. But we each picked out some songs to play for some reasons that we'll discuss. And I'm consistent here, Soraya, because I definitely, you know me and my lead-off track, so I wanted to start off with the lead-off track from this record, which is Death and Angels. So if that's okay, we'll play that song first.
Let's go.
And before we play for our listeners, one of the main reasons why I picked that song is because I love the singing and the trading off between Chris Kakavez and Dan Stewart. And if you listen, you can hear them very well singing their parts in kind of a, not exactly a call and response, but that style of trading off. And just a great way to start the record, and love hearing those two singing back and forth. So Death and Angels.
In the event, a sudden disaster. Just look into a face that matters. of compassion in our world.
How do you like that for a lead-off track?
Woo! That's starting off hot. You did it. This is me listening. I get like an Animals vibe.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
I don't know, maybe there's an essence in there, but
All right.
I do like the trading off of those vocals.
Yeah.
It's so cool. And Dan Stewart's got this very distinctive voice and such a strong voice.
Yeah.
It's I like hearing that, counterposition of his and Chris Kakavas's voice.
Yeah. And I have to say that I've listened to this record, I think, since it came out, one version or another. And I will say that I actually appreciate Chris's singing much more now, having heard his post Green on Red work. And as you know, I'm very fond of Chris Kakavas's voice. And it's strange. I listen to this EP differently now, hearing Chris develop. So I don't know how to explain it, but I appreciate his voice more so now, because of the fact that his voice is more prominent in his solo stuff, obviously, and less of a background singer, right? So it's just different. I don't know how to explain it, but I appreciate his background singing more so now.
I have to agree. I mean, I think you make a really good point that just with time, you begin to appreciate different things about different vocalists. So I'm with you.
All right. So it makes sense at least a little bit. All right. Okay, so your first pick.
Yeah, my pick is Black Knight. And I have to say we'll talk about it after you. Black Knight.
That's a great one.
You know what makes a song for me is that piano.
Oh,
That makes a song for me. It's just such a eerie, vibey song. And I mean, it's just a cool song, but man, the minute I hear it, and now that we've had all these discussions with Chris Kakovitz, I'm all Chris Kakovitz making himself stand out from the get-go. I love this song.
oh, wow. I actually was expecting that you were going to say that bass line. That
I mean, but see, like, isn't it a vibey song? Because then you go dum, 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 dum. But
yeah,
the minute that okay, you're gonna have to. It's an electric piano, right?
yeah, that's what I think so.
Okay. I can't distinguish the synth, keyboard, electric piano. I'm assuming it's an electric piano.
Yeah, I think so.
But the minute you hear that, like that kind of gets my senses going, and then like I can hear that bass line, and it's a dope bass line too.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So
Jack Watterson.
yes, ridiculously good.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah, it's just a cool song.
it kind of has like a surf kind of feel to it with that bass line, which is funny, although they spell it differently. The band started out as surfers.
Yeah.
SERFERS.
Right.
And of course they were out of Tucson, Arizona. And the original drummer was Van Christian, who went on to start another band, Naked Prey.
Yeah.
Might be a future episode.
We
there.
hope so.
We're in talks about that. But yeah. So it definitely has that surfer
Yeah.
and song, specifically with the bass line.
It's a very cool song. Yeah.
Yes.
All right, Jeff. What's your next one?
I think I'm up, right? I think we
did side A.
We did side A, and we're flipping to side B.
Yes, sir.
And I'm gonna go with the lead off track.
Why not? Why not? It's a Jeff thing.
I'm so predictable. And it's a great track, but I wanted to read to you, if you don't mind, a review by a famous reviewer, Robert Christgau.
Oh yeah.
Who many people know, and not always kind with his words. But this is what he wrote about the EP. He said Dan Stewart, he gave it a B, by the way, was the grade that he gave it. And he said Dan Stewart and friends are as hooky as the LA trash aesthetic gets, with Chris Kakovitz's organ, the Nugget. So he notices that. And he said, but though lots of New York bands ought to wish they'd thought of Aspirin first. So Aspirin is the song that I'm picking. And he said, New York bands only wish that they wrote Aspirin.
You have to be from Tucson, man.
Yeah. Just to finish out the review, he said, he goes on to say, Stewart would be easier to take straight if he didn't favor the B-side movie imagery so prevalent in the film capital of the world. Which, yeah, I kind of like that aspect of some of the lyrics, but that's Robert Christgau for you. But Aspirin is the song that I picked. Love the guitars, up tempo, choppy post-punk kind of thing, and Dan Stewart does Dan Stewart like only he can do, and the vocals are just great. But I just love the feel of it, and I think Christgau's got a point. I mean, it definitely feels like it could be something from CBGBs from that era when it was, you had Blondie coming out of there, Talking Heads, Ramones, and all those bands. But it's just a great track and has that kind of post-punk feel to me. Anyway,
Let's do it.
Let's listen to it. This is Aspirin. Lead off track, side B. Green on Red.
In a world of subjects, in a world of pain, I look round and round and I see the same subjects of desire, things of pain, same. I float upside down in my world, but I see straight. In a world of something, in a world of pain, I'm willing to sacrifice my mind to show me the way. Give me some aspirin, please. Give me some pain. In a world of restaurants, in a world of pain, I float upside down. I see myself the same. In a world of something, in a world of pain, please feed me some aspirin. Please say the same. Give me some aspirin, please. Give me some pain. In a world of herbs, the subject's the same. If your stomach turns upside down, please come my way. In a world of something, in a world of pain, I go up and down, my eyes refrain. Give me some aspirin, please. Give me some heroin.
That keyboard part, there's parts of it, especially during the solo part, where it reminded me of something that might be on like on a Monkeys track.
Wow.
I think it's that setting, but
It's
anyway,
so garagey,
rock.
psychedelic, 60s. And I think that's what's interesting about this EP in particular is it really brings together so many influences, and you really can't listen to one song and say, oh, this is how all of Green on Red music is going to be on the full length album after the nope.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Or
They
yeah. Or,
throw a lot at you, and so I think it just really speaks to how diverse the band really was at the time too.
yeah. Yeah. There's certainly have more of a garage feel than as they started to develop more country influences
Mm,
that you hear later, more rootsy, I should say.
yeah, roots. I agree with you there. Yeah. All right, and so as no surprise to anyone, I always, I'm always tagging along to Jeff. So Jeff took the title track. I'm taking track 2 on side B, and it's called Lost World, and we'll talk about it after you hear it.
Love it.
I mean, it starts out with this really kind of upbeat, and then you start hearing the lyric, like, wow, this is really bleak.
Yeah.
But it's the drive, that guitar, and it's like hypnotic. And then like those last two stanzas at the end of the song, let me read them. Sorry, I had them up on my screen. Do, 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 do. It's our fault that the world is lost, lost, lost world, vanished, gone, lost world. And I saw a shadow, like, okay, maybe a little hope. I felt life, and everything evaporated
Oh.
overnight. And you're like, damn. I mean, so the lyrics, like, you're just kind of in this trance, right? The guitar is really rhythmic, and then you hear that keyboard and the boom boom, the bass, and everything is just kind of convoluting. But like deep in the background is this lyric that's, you can't shake it, and it's good. Such a good song.
Yeah.
And Jeff, I'm gonna see if I can surprise you.
Oh,
All right.
okay.
One of the four seminal Paisley Underground bands
Uh-oh.
covered this live.
Oh.
Okay. Now, I'm not going to give you the year because that'll give it away. Okay. But I will say they covered it live in a show during the 2000s.
Really?
Which band do you think that was?
Okay, so I don't know this answer for sure.
Oh, okay. I thought I was
No.
I was fully expecting you to answer me.
Okay. No. So I don't know this answer.
Give a guess.
Yeah, okay. So I'm in my mind, I'm picturing the How to Be a Millionaire, right? Where they have the four on there, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna eliminate the Bengals. I don't
Okay.
think it would be them, and I would eliminate the 3 o'clock
Okay.
because I don't think that's their style. So that leaves me with two.
Do you want to phone a friend? You want a 50-50?
Yeah, I was like, if I have 50-50, but no, you know how that usually works. If you pick 50-50, then the one that you know isn't it. So then they'd eliminate Bengals, and I'm still sitting here with Dream Syndicate and Rain Parade. I
Okay.
know Rain Parade and the Dream Syndicate are both huge, huge fans of Green on Red. But I am gonna go. My first thought was Rain Parade, but I'm gonna go with Dream Syndicate only because they were more of a touring band and they were playing more songs than any of the other bands in the Paisley Underground. So I think just by numbers alone, my best bet is Dream Syndicate.
Rain Parade.
Wow.
And there is video on YouTube of a show, 2015, September the 12th, 2015, at the Starry Plow in Berkeley. They covered Lost World.
No.
Yeah. So
I did not
I'm
know
like,
that.
I love seeing that sort of,
Wow.
I'll cover you, you cover me. But and if anyone follows Dan Stewart or Matt Pucci on social media, you'll see that they recently had a visit together, and they appreciate each other, just as people, but I'm sure as musicians as well. So yeah, it was a nice little surprise for me to
Wow.
find that online.
I've got to go hunt that down.
Yeah, I'll send you the link. It's pretty cool.
Please do. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was that.
Yeah. So that's another reason why I think Green on Red is part of Paisley Underground for every reason that we've talked about what Paisley Underground is. But anyways, so yeah. So
we're not going to debate it, but I think it's absolutely imperative that when we talk about Paisley Underground, that we can begin to expand, because the truth is, and we've heard them all talk about it, we hung out together, played in same places, and And I think there was genuinely an appreciation for each other's work. Granted, each band is different and kind of starts going into different directions.
Without a doubt. Without a
Yeah,
doubt. Yeah.
and I just think it's hard to talk about the Paisley Underground, not talk about bands like True West and Green on Red and Long Riders, and you and I can keep going, but I definitely think it's something to keep in the conversation.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
If nothing else. Yeah.
But what a cool EP! Look at that. How come that one has no signatures? I'm
That's a good
surprised, Jeff.
question. Well, Chris hasn't been back in the States for a while. I haven't, so I've never seen Green on Red play.
Okay.
And I want to say that I don't think I've ever seen any of them even perform with different acts either.
Well, how do you think we could coax Chris Kakavas to come visit us in the States? Maybe if we offer some tacos
I think Mexican
and
food is a
like
good stuff.
some fresh masa
Yes.
and a comal and some good salsa. I mean,
Yeah.
dude, would that encourage any of them to come and sit down with us and get some autographs?
I would hope so. And I think I know a person or two that is good at some of that.
I have a feeling you may know one person. I don't know, maybe one.
Yeah, maybe one.
That, if you ask nicely, may
But
do
you're absolutely right. There's a lot of real estate.
Woo! That album needs, and I have one Green on Red LP in my collection, just one. Everything else I have,
Yeah.
CD or digital. And I would love some signatures on that as well.
Agreed. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, that when the announcement was made that the Facebook page went live, that they noted on their webpage that there's a spot for shows. No shows were listed. No shows were listed
yet.
Yeah, yet. But
we're barely crawling out like the cicadas that were crawling out of our pandemic hibernation
every 17 years or whatever.
Bloody hell. Please, no more pandemics. Okay, people, get vaccinated, stay healthy, wear masks, blah, blah, blah.
Agreed.
But I seriously feel like we've been in hibernation like bears. And we're coming out, we're like, what show? Yes.
Yes, agreed. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. So everybody stay safe.
Yeah, stay safe. I want live music. And hey, things happened during this pandemic. Green on Red made a Bandcamp page.
Mm-hmm.
And and they have a website and or a page and shows.
Yep.
I just bought my very first ticket to a live show not that long ago, and now every day I get new. Brian Wilson has a new show, and it's like kid on Christmas. I want more. And Rain Parade says they've got new material, which could mean new shows.
Mm-hmm.
That means Jeff and I and Jeff's wife Chris, we're going back on the road.
Road trip.
Back up.
Yeah, absolutely.
So anywho,
another great EP for the series. We're dead in the middle, and we're going to end it next week with a True West EP. So no secrets there. I don't have anything to wear to any kind of garment to give.
No, your hat, the hat.
Huh? My Stetson.
You got that's a pretty badass hat. We're gonna talk about True West. You got to wear a badass hat.
I might be wearing that next.
I know Gavin Blair would wear a badass hat.
Oh yeah, and look much better than I would.
There you go. Anywho, mi gente, agruviar.
Groove on, Paisley people.